She move her body like a shaman. All in my head, so much in common. Just say that word, baby, I'm on it. If this ain't love, then I don't want it. She move her body like a shaman.
All right, guys, we are back. Hi, welcome to Culture Healing. We are back. I am so fussy. So I am back with Jahmel, and I know that you guys remember him. Say hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Right, so I know that you guys remember him from the past video. He's back again, and I'm so fussy because remember we left off at nagging, like what do men consider nagging, how we can be able to redefine that word and those actions and what comes with it. So we are both gonna like discuss what a woman do with nagging, which is where I come in, and then he's gonna be able to talk about other things. Before we go further, guys, I am using a different mic, so if anything, because I don't know how this is gonna go, so if it goes and it's bad and I keep touching my chest or whatever, I apologize. If it doesn't sound good, I apologize. All right, so if it goes well, you mic. If it doesn't, sorry. Right. But that being said, so we're going to be doing nagging, or we're going to be doing redefining masculinity, like the positive of being a male, because let him tell you, why are we going to be doing this?
Well, the main reason is because we live in I think like what we see in society with masculine is kind of like a negative thought process towards masculinity. So when we hear masculinity, we kind of immediately my thoughts is the male ego, and I think it's been programmed to be like masculinity negative, and I think that's very bad and it's very toxic towards the masculine thought process towards the masculine or the male, because if the moment you associate masculine as negative, you associate male as negative.
Right.
Masculine doesn't need to be negative. It has many, many positive qualities. There's a negative side of it, of course, with everything, balance. There's a negative side of it. So you have the masculine ego, which can then be detrimental to everybody and everything around. But the masculine itself doesn't have to be negative. It has, like I said, many, many positive qualities. And I think it needs to be spoken about and touched upon, because that conversation isn't being had. We're talking about the bad things, but we're not talking about the good things. And people aren't seeing the good things that come with the masculine energy. And without speaking upon it and showing what it looks like, there's going to be people out there that have no clue what it looks like because they never had that example. So having that example, having a understanding of what it looks like and understanding of what it can look like, then allows them to take it to where they want to take it to, you know?
So there you have it. So this is exactly what we're going to do today. But we're going to start with nagging and then like go into that, because I feel like it's going to definitely connect to just the negative of the masculine, and then try to put a positive spin on that as well. So before we got off the last time, my question was to him, what do men consider nagging? What don't they like about nagging? And I guess I will be able to say our part on why we would do something like that, I guess.
Okay, so nagging. Do you know what? I can only speak for myself when it comes to nagging. When it comes to nagging from women, what I see in nagging from women is the repetitive asking of simple basic things of which I do not need you to ask me. So if I know there's certain things I need to do, or there's certain things that I must do, or there's certain things, or you've asked me to do something, and you repeatedly ask me that same thing over and over and over, without giving me the opportunity to actually deal with the situation, that to me is then nagging. You're nagging me. You're on my case. I don't need you on my case. Let me have my space. Let me do what I need to. So let's say I was in the middle of a project work, or I was watching TV, or whatever I may be doing. I'm in the middle of an activity, and in that moment, you've asked me to come and do something for you. Great. Now, I'm going to do that on my timeline unless you need me to do it on your timeline. You don't communicate with me that you need me to do it on your timeline, and it is of utmost importance for me to do it on your timeline. And I'm going to do it on my timeline. Simple as. So if that means me finishing that episode of TV I'm watching, or that movie, or the episodes of TV that I planned on watching when I sat down to watch that TV, or the ending of my project, the work of that project, let's say it's going to be an hour, 2 hours, or however long I'm working on that project for, or I had planned on working on that project for. If you then multiple times throughout that, me doing whatever I'm doing, and you keep coming at me and like, Jahmal, I need you to do this. Jahmal, I need you to do this. Jahmal, I've asked you to do this. Why haven't you done it? It's like, I'm not a child. I'm a grown man now. So
Mm,
why are you on my case as a grown man without speaking to? If it's that important, go do it yourself. If you can't do it yourself, then explain to me why you can't or what the situation is, so then I can know. So
mhm.
I can then take upon myself. Okay, cool. This person needs me to do this, and then it needs
Right,
to be done.
right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when it comes to the nagging of women, like in my life, when it comes to them nagging, most of the time when it comes to me feeling like they're nagging me, it's not because they've asked me to do something once. That's fine. It's
Yeah,
when they've asked me to do things multiple times and I've not got myself ready to do it because I'm in the middle of something else or doing something. Now, if I forget,
yeah.
it's a whole different thing. But
Mm-hmm.
no,
I got you. All right. For us women,
mm-hmm.
I think for what I want to do with this specific topic, I think we did it with the last two, where you said from a man's perspective what you guys consider it, whatever you've done. I would then say why we would do it, and then we do a conclusion. I think we
Yes,
need we need a conclusion to this nagging and redefine what this nagging is, because I think it's
mm-hmm.
so negative. And for me, when a guy associate a woman with being nagging, it's pretty insulting actually, right?
Really
Yeah, actually, dude.
doesn't surprise me.
This what?
Doesn't
It doesn't
surprise me.
surprise you. Yeah, it's
Not a nice
actually
thing.
it's really, really hurtful. So we were like, the hell you're talking about? So I feel like because when you associate nagging, you think of a woman who is trying to like be your mother, right? As you would say, or a woman who is just constantly on you, just doesn't want you to do anything. I think automatically that's what we consider nagging as, right? So for me, when you were speaking, all I heard was clarity, communication, clarity, communication. I feel like if before we get there, that's the solution talking. Let me get to the other side of the spectrum. All right. So from what I have noticed and from what I used to do in terms of
Mhm.
my nagging, if I ask my mate to do something for me, it is that for me personally, I want it to be done immediately, because whatever it is that I've asked you to do, I actually want to use it or get it out of the way, because something is going to be coming in space of that thing, right?
Right.
So if I said, hey babe, wash the dishes, is a guarantee that I'm actually coming back to the kitchen to use the kitchen for something. But because I get sidetracked with something else, I actually don't have time to do the kitchen, and you don't do the kitchen. So by the time I come around again, the kitchen is done. I'm like, the heck, right? What happened? I thought I
Right.
asked you to do the dishes. But what initially I didn't do was communicate and say to you, I actually about to go to the supermarket and come back. And when I come back, I actually want to cook. So could you please wash your dishes before I come back?
Mm-hmm.
Solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that I mean clarity, communication, solution. That is, I think that is the thing that's missing. So when you are on a guy in the terms of he is playing video games and you see he playing video games, but this is coming from a woman's perspective now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see you playing the video games. Today things need to be done in the house. I'm off, you're playing video games. I have clothes to wash, there's stuff to do, there's food to cook, blah, 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 blah. But you haven't prioritized the things that we both have to do, but I'm doing it. So the fact that I think that I have to come and tell you, you do realize that we kind of have clothes and these things to wash. I feel like you might consider me to be nagging, you might consider me to be on your case, and I know you're in your game. So I know we think ahead. I know that if I come to you and tell you, yo, come and help me with this, help me with that, while you're playing video games, you know how that goes. I'm a video game girl. Some boy come and tell me to do something while playing a game. Ooh, I be getting mad. I be like, I about to kill this guy. What you mean? We here, right? So I know exactly. I'm about to win this race, and you telling me to come and do what? No, you want me pause? I'm in a momentum right now, so I know exactly what that is. So that we know, we've seen your reactions when we come and tell you, hey, come and help us. So then we were like, oh, how do I do this? Mind you, if you had a mirror on the wall, you would see me walking back and forth. So how do I tell him this? I do not know how he's going to receive this. I really want his help, but I know this is going to be a quarrel. I don't want a quarrel. And it's like, this is how we're going in our heads, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
have to come and say we need help. So when
Mm-hmm.
we come now, you're in your game. Babe, I want you to do something. babe, I want you now. I'm coming, babe. I mean, like right now. But here's the thing that you didn't do. You tell him to come. You don't tell him what he coming for. You just tell the man to come. He
Mm-hmm.
ain't come. Right? So you have to say, babe, I actually want you to come and help me do this thing in the back or help me lift this thing, blah, 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 blah. Are you online? This is one thing you have to realize if you have a gamer. Ask your man if he is online or if he's just playing. If he's online, he cannot pause, ladies. There is no pausing online. Okay? So we live in a game world. Be in the game, or you have a game man, learn certain things about him in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's online, you gotta wait. How long more online? Okay, as soon as you finish, babe, as soon as you finish online. Yeah, remember I asked you to come. Don't start a new game. Make sure you insist. He needs to see you. If he doesn't see you,
Your head up in there.
if he doesn't see you, girls, he ain't hear shit you said. So you need to be like, hi, yeah, 10 minutes. Okay, remember me, that type of thing. And then you leave him. So before, I feel like a solution for that, if it's so that you both are off on Saturday, make plans Saturday night. I said, babe, I know you want to have your time, but tomorrow we have clothes to wash, we have clothes to clean, we have the kids to look for. Let's get those things out of the way and then starts there. If it's so that your man doesn't, that's another
Mm-hmm.
conversation for another time. So for me, communication in that sense, why we nag is because we want you to do something. We want you to actually come and get it done. It's not that we don't want you to play games. It's not that we don't want you to have your free time. It's that we consider us having to think about cleaning the house, washing the dishes, doing all of these things, or taking care of, or being responsible of these things. And to us, you just playing games or chilling with your boys is not adding value to our relationship or adding
Mm-hmm.
value to our union. But if you're like, okay, I know that we're both off on Saturdays or Sundays or whatever the case is, I see that there's stuff to sweep. I see that there's stuff. I bet you if you go and you tell your girl, okay, I know tomorrow's cleaning day, or I know I see a lot of clothes. You wash clothes, somebody cook, whatever. I bet you
Yes,
my
yes,
last
yes.
dollar, she's not gonna nag because you've noticed the things that needs to be done for your union,
Mm-hmm.
your opinion, solution that you have.
Yeah. So for me, do you know the thing is there? What you then touched upon is like the
Mm,
male then has a job of responsibility as well, as much as the
mm,
woman does. His priorities need to be in check. So for me, it's like if you're gonna then touch them games before dealing with what you need to deal with around the house, okay. Right. I mean, I personally, you need to get your stuff sorted around the house. You need to have your house in check because it's not just one you living there, it's two people living there or a unit of people living there. So that means to be priorities. Plus, what you're showing your kids. You're showing your kids that you play games before you tidy up or clean up
mm,
your mess. That's not the right message that you're going to be sending to your children or
mm,
to your wife or to yourself, to be fair, even yourself. But
mm,
so your priorities need to be in check. What are you dealing with first? For the male, he needs to be dealing with his house first. Priorities. So with the male, it comes again. But let's say, all right, cool. Had a hard week. You've been grinding. You've had no time off. You've been doing everything you need to do around the house throughout the whole week. And it's now Saturday, and it's Saturday morning, and you're like, I've woke up before everybody. You're like, I don't want to disturb anybody or whatever it may be. Or you're like, I want to chill before everybody gets up because I've got some time. And then she wakes up, and then you're still in that mode though, of gaming or whatever it
yeah.
may be. You need that reminder. Cool. But then it's a matter of saying, look, I'm on the game. I'm going to be then communicating with her. Understand that, yes, we're in a game, and yes, you are playing a game, but give her that, like, it's going to be like 5 seconds for you to say, babe, give me a minute. I've got this, that I'm doing this. I'm going to do this at this time. So then she's going to leave you alone until that time.
Yeah.
She will leave you alone until that time. And if that
Hmm.
time comes and you're still going over, she's then going to be on your case.
Yes.
So it's a matter of, it's not just for the woman to communicate properly. It's a matter for the man to communicate properly. Let
Hmm.
his woman know what he's going through and why he's behaving the way he's behaving. So then
Yeah.
she can then choose how she's going to respond rather than just reacting due to her being frustrated or any kind of those kind of emotions.
Yeah.
So I think the woman, when it comes to if she's nagging you, it may come down to a situation of it's your own fault. You know, like
Yes.
seriously, like
Yeah.
it could just be genuinely your own fault of why this woman is nagging you at this moment in time. Because if
Yeah.
you dealt with what you need to deal with,
She wouldn't have.
would she nag you?
No.
Probably not. Now, if she does nag you and you've dealt with what you need to deal with, there
Okay,
needs to
that's
be
a
another
different issue.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's that's a whole different issue. That's a new conversation. So
Mhm.
that means you need to do what you need to deal with. To
She
stop her
wants
from nagging.
attention. Just put it in there. She just wants attention. Go hug her, kiss her, spend 10, 15 minutes with her and leave. Trust me, that's all she wants. Continue.
But my question is then, why are you nagging me to get attention?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that too. See, this is a good conversation. The thing about it is we don't know how to ask you guys for things anymore without it being a negative reaction. That is the honest to God truth right now, right? We don't know how to come and say, babe, I want a hug or whatever the case where you say, man, you always want attention. Real thing. Like Caribbean men, good for that, right? So for us, speaking in this sense, you will have to tell me about your side of the world, or a female will have to tell me about her side of the world. But for us, we are not going to actually come to you and say, man, I feel like sometimes we don't even know what we're feeling with all the emotional things we have, right? So we want you to notice. I mean, you've done everything, but you're still playing the game. We want attention too, like the game is wanting some attention. So even if you say, yeah, babe, on Saturdays, 2 hours a game there, like plan it out. You have to plan in a new relationship, plan shit out. Say, I'm gonna just take 2 hours every day or whatever the case is just for games, and then we can spend and do whatever the case is. But if you're in a relationship with your girl and you're consistently playing game and you're not paying her any attention, she is gonna nag you like, why are you always in the game? Blah, 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 blah. And if she's like, why are you always in the game and there's stuff in the house to do, means that you actually haven't done anything in the house. But if she's like, but why are you always in the game? Why you always gotta be paying attention? Like, listen to those words. That means she actually wants your attention. Females, I think it is so cowardly for you to want to have attention from your man and not say, hey, we don't spend enough time. Let us spend at least an hour today or go somewhere. I want time with you. Stop trying to have a man figure out what is on your mind. It don't work like that. We are we are regrooming our meals. They're not gonna be that type of grown man right now that's gonna notice like, yo, my girl walking with a little crook in she back, she need a massage, or you know what, she looks sad. Like, it's not like that. We are competing. Yeah, I have to say that, competing with games, Facebook, all of those different things. So everybody is distracted. They're not consistently paying attention to a relationship like that. So speak, communication.
So important. So important. I think it's undervalued and overlooked in relationships. Very much so. You touched upon something there. You mentioned about the woman needing to communicate with the man and let him know that she wants that attention. And sometimes she doesn't know what attention she wants. So when a woman doesn't know what kind of attention she wants, how is a man meant to know what attention you want if you don't know what attention you want? Because as a man, like I've been like ego driven and then I've been not. So like, and then I've been in the middle and I'm still healing and dealing with what I need to deal with. But like when I was ego driven and I was dealing with women, like, and I was dealt with a woman which was nagging and wanting attention, and then I'm like, what do you want? She's like telling me I don't know what I want. I'm like, so what do you want from me? I don't know what I want from you. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what you want from me, so I'm just gonna do this until you work it out. And then when you've worked it out, and then she'll get vexed with me for doing something else that wasn't what she wanted me to do. When I asked her, she didn't know what to do. Me being me at that moment in time, you know what I'm saying? Me being me, instead of coming with a situation of like, okay, cool, and trying to figure something out, I was like, cha, I can go about my business.
Right.
So, because I was just like, I'm not dealing with that. It's just nonsense. I could have been a bit more nice about it. I could have been.
But if she doesn't know, how are you supposed to know? Like, I totally agree. Go ahead.
No. The way I could have been more nice about it is the way I handled the situation. So I handled it like I was speaking to a man.
Yeah,
I handled it like I was speaking to a man. So I handled it like if I was speaking to a guy, and the way I handled it would have been fine because guys, you know,
good,
But she's a woman right now at this moment in time as well. She's confused, vulnerable. And then me coming at her like that, it's gonna hurt her.
Yeah,
it's gonna make her feel it's gonna make her feel guilty for something she doesn't actually need to feel guilty for, which was unfair for me to do, which I didn't understand that I was doing at the time. Now I look back and I'm like, wow, okay, cool. Next time you handle that differently. Like next time, communicate with her. Look, you don't know what you want from me. You don't even know what you want from yourself. So I'm gonna take myself away, and then when you're ready, I'll come back. But instead, gone.
Right,
See what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So the
right.
way I handled it is it can be very, very different on how I handle the situation. So cool, yeah, cool, she's nagging. Cool, she's behaving in this way which I do not like and I'm not agreeing with. But how I handle the situation during that time, it can be very, very different and can make it play out very, very differently. I
Mm-hmm.
can now make my woman feel good or
Mm-hmm.
feel at least that she's listened to and being paid attention to, which you're saying is the most important thing. How am I going to make her
Yeah,
feel paid attention to?
yeah,
Or I can make her feel guilty and feel like in a worse place than she may already be feeling
yeah,
the way I behave and respond to her. So
yeah.
for me, though, it's like in the case of a woman not knowing what she actually wants,
What
and
do
then
you
it is,
do?
what do I do?
All right. What do we do now? I just want to go a little piggyback off of what you said and then answer your question, because you
Okay.
said that when she opened up, what happened? I just letting them see like the chain reaction of the reaction that you give to her wanting attention, which is what I was saying earlier in terms of we don't know how to do it without you saying, "Man, but you always want attention," type of thing, right?
Mhm.
For her now, she's gonna look at it as I want an attention is a bad thing, right? I always want you to look at me as a bad thing. She's gonna feel bad for being needy, which is another thing that people say women are always needy. So she's gonna feel bad for being needy, which then puts that close down on certain things. So this is where the I don't want to tell you I want attention, but I want you to see that I want attention comes into play. And this is where all you see how it goes into like a chain
Mhm.
reaction of behavior. And I feel
Mhm.
like people always take things too seriously and chain react themselves into, oh well, he insulted me, so I'm gonna close down. No, keep progressing. It's just his reaction. That doesn't mean that his reaction may have been bad or a good thing. Do what you need to do. You may find somebody who is actually like what you putting out, your neediness or whatever the case. Or if it's so that it is too much, you will find a responsible person who will tell you, hey, you know that you always want me up on it, you whatever the case is. He's going to be able to be responsible with his words and say those things to you, so you would know how far to take your attention deficit type of behavior. So in terms of what to do if she doesn't, that was your question, right? If she don't know what she wants.
Mhm.
The thing about that, right? For me, that is a non-woman and question to a non-woman answer, right? Because for me, a woman would say something. She would say, hey, we haven't spent enough time and I feel like, yo, I need your attention, let's go somewhere, right? But
Mhm.
for a female who isn't a woman as yet, she wants you to read her mind. And her reading mind is, we mentioned it in the last video,
Mhm.
what she's watching. Oh my gosh, look at this couple, look at what they're doing. That is she telling you, big man, you need to do it too. Okay?
Yeah, 'cause-
Exactly. And she's gonna come out and she's gonna be walking past you and singing and saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? You see how crazy this is? I don't even want to reply to that, but hey, right? She's gonna come and she's gonna walk like, what are you doing? Can we do something? Whatever the case is. She's gonna
Mhm.
come to you a few times in your face doing certain things. She's gonna watch a movie and be like, oh my gosh, that couple is so cute. Oh my gosh, you know what I feel like doing now? I want to go somewhere. Or
Mhm.
I think we should go so, or look at Josie in the hill, did this, did that. She's legit telling you, I want to do these things too. But for me, I find it frustrating because I'm like, just tell the man you want to go eat. Just speak. They do not
Simple.
know. It's that simple. They cannot know. Now, there are men out there who have been learned or taught how to pick up on women's subliminal messages. They are that. But women, we are in society of men who weren't taught the small things that we would like. Our race, let's be realistic, weren't taught that. The other races, the white race was taught those things. We, our men, do not know. We have to make it clear. We have to teach our sons, we have to teach our men that these are the things that you notice about a woman. These are the things that a woman wants you to, because for me, and this is another fact too, that I myself is working on as well.
Mhm.
I feel like me having to tell you, oh, let's do this or let's do that or do this or do that is too much. I shouldn't have to tell you without being a rich, because here, you don't have to tell me anything. I notice these things about you. We mentioned this in the last video. I see that you like playing this game, you like doing it, so I make myself available or non-available for these certain things. I see that you like this Jordan. Oh my gosh, I know he's gonna like this. I see his game control is wearing out. I'm gonna buy him a new one. Like, we notice those things. So men, if you're interested in your female, you sit down and you notice the thing. You see, oh my gosh, she like this pair of shoes. She been looking at this online, blah, blah, blah. Or you know what? I haven't taken my girl out in a long time. Let me just randomly take her somewhere, or let me just cook her, clean her, whatever, whatever, whatever. She do the same thing for you. You do the same thing for her. Ladies, men don't read minds. We don't even read minds.
No, sir, not at all. We do not.
Exactly. So just tell them I want attention. If he shuts down your need for attention, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, dangerous conversation.
Yes, exactly. That you may or may not have a relationship after that type of thing.
Consider a few things if that's the case.
Exactly.
I have to reconsider a few things indeed. I think see, so for me though, when it comes to that situation, so what I'm paying attention as a man, I'm doing what I need to do, but it's not working for me. So then I shut down. I get vexed. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm doing what I need to do. She's not paying attention to it. She don't get, or I don't feel appreciated when I'm doing what I need to do.
Right.
I don't feel appreciated now because you're not doing what I feel like I need, what I feel you need to do to make me feel appreciated.
Yeah.
And now I shut down and I'm like, I'm gonna stop doing those things, because when I do those things, you ask for those things, or you don't ask for those things, I do it. You don't show me any appreciation. So then I don't do it. You ask for it, I do it. Now I get some appreciation. Or you nag me to do it, and then I do it, and then you show some appreciation. But until I do that, you don't show no appreciation. So then me as a male, I'm gonna be like, cool. I'm gonna wait until you nag.
See?
I'm licking nag. Because then I'm gonna show some appreciation.
That is a good tactic. Ladies, do you see that? No. That is an actual tactic. For me, here's the thing. I actually was speaking to somebody about this recently as well. And like how men get comfortable with women doing things for them, like you're accustomed to her cooking for you, cleaning for you, blah, blah, blah. So you think this is like a normal thing. You don't notice her doing these things because it is like a routine at this point. It's like a dog. This dog know at 12 today, it can eat every day. And it come and wag its tail and be happy because every day at 12, we eating, why am I happy? Right? Is a human thing, and I think it's ridiculous because we need to learn gratitude and thankfulness, and I think we have a lot. Go ahead.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. I'll remember.
The male though, that's the problem with the man then, because the man isn't showing, he's not appreciating of what his woman is doing.
Yes.
For him. And it's the little things that you need to appreciate. So then she does the big things. Because without the little things, you appreciate the little things. Why is she going to go out of her way and do big things for you? You're not showing me that this again comes down to that appreciation thing that I was saying about the man. Now it's being flipped.
It's for the woman. So
you're saying you've got a woman in front of you, cooking for you, she's cleaning for you. Yes, you're doing what you need to do as a man. You're working, you're providing, you are being that pillar of strength and all the rest of the great things that comes with being a masculine. But then you are not then showing her appreciation. You're not showing her gratitude. You're not making her feel good about doing those little things for you. And they're not little things, because without food, you ain't living.
Yeah, so without your clothes being washed, your shit gonna smell awful.
You're not gonna smell bad. You're not gonna be able to wear it to work.
Yeah.
What you're gonna have to clean up your own clothes. That's gonna take time out of your day that you don't have. And that's the reason why she does it, is because you don't have time for this stuff.
Right.
She's aware of that. So then it's a matter of the man needing to show the right appreciation for his woman, showing her the correct gratitude that she needs to feel like, I'm gonna keep doing this, because sooner or later that woman is gonna get fed up.
Yeah.
Sooner or later she's gonna nag you about simple, stupid little things that she didn't need to be nagging you over, and that she doesn't feel that you need to be nagging her over.
Yeah.
And the nagging is then gonna become attention nagging, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
That's when it's gonna turn into attention nagging, because like I'm not getting the right attention that I need to feel fulfilled or feel great, like I'm being appreciated for all the things that I'm doing. So if I'm not feeling appreciated, I'm gonna nag until he then does the things that I need to do. You see how, like, so, but then that's reaction. You've got one guy, you've got the male who's like, I'm not gonna do stuff for you because until I feel appreciated, I don't feel until you nag, because then you start showing appreciation. And you got a woman like, I'm gonna nag you because if I don't nag you, you don't show me any appreciation. It's like
Yeah.
you've got
It's like two immature people right now.
exactly
Yeah.
clashing, constantly clashing. And with that clashing, it's like instead of
There's no
um
solution.
there's no solution because nobody's looking for a solution. They're just looking to
Yeah.
get what they can get out of the relationship rather than
Yes.
try to progress as a unit in
Yeah.
the relationship. So rather than moving in love, they're
They're
moving
moving in
in
competition.
in competition. There's no
Yeah.
selflessness, there's no love, there's no is what can I get from
Get.
this person? And how am I going to be fulfilled from this person? Okay, I'm gonna behave like this, and then this person will fulfill me by me. And it's a manipulation game at this point.
Yeah. And you're feeding that ego as well.
Horribly, terribly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. For the relationship, it's very, very toxic.
Yeah, because you develop a selfish habit of wanting, of getting what you want at all costs. And most of our relationship is like that if you pay attention. And for the ones that don't end up like that, you will realize that your man, as he said earlier, he shut down. He doesn't say anything, and your woman, she doesn't say anything. They don't see a solution to this. So what's the point of doing or saying anything, right? You just leave it as is. But I want to answer the perspective of a man now. For women, I feel like if you have a man that goes out of his way, right? And this is where you have to be observant and always be thankful and grateful for it, to realize that there are other females, if you want to think of it this way, that is fighting for a man like yours, that is giving you not only attention, he's making, being observant and giving you the things that you want in terms of your mental stability, right? He's making sure that mentally you are happy. Everything around you is physically happy as well. But you are consistently not being appreciative of what he's doing, of the things that he's going out his way for. I think that for me, you don't know what the hell you want, right? And for you to damage a person who can only love you the way that they know how to love you is is selfish, is extremely selfish to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have somebody around you that is working tirelessly, not just for your comfortability, but the comfortability of others around them. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, I feel like you, as a person who you can see that this person is all out going for you, is all out thinking of you, is all out
Mm-hmm.
always there to make sure that everything is clear, you don't have a stress in the world. You need to re-evaluate yourself. You need to figure out, why am I not happy with getting everything that I want? What is up with that? Now, on the spectrum, on the other spectrum, men, this is a secret about here just spilling shit like Steve Harvey. Men, women love that you give them everything that they want. It is beautiful. But when you consistently doing so, it's like, oh my God, how do I amount to this? This is too much. Slow down. You're making me crazy with everything that you turn in my face. I feel like if I do something wrong with how good you are, I'm like, oh, it's like a lot of pressure. It's ridiculous. We know. But we being a competitive, in our competitive nature, seeing that you're constantly just doing things, and we're like, but what do I do? He's done this, he's done that. What he said earlier, partially where he said that I'm gonna not do it, or when she nag me, I'm gonna do it. Sometimes practice that. Sometimes practice her, remind her. This is like rewinding the clock to remind her, once upon a time, I never used to do this, but I doing it now. But I think you forget, so I'm gonna stop. So you can remind her again. The same thing with a female too. She does the same thing with a man. She remind him how good she is by leaving. Then he's like, oh my God, I had a good woman, I want her back, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, man. You've got to like rewind the clock, because if you're continuously doing the same routine, she's not gonna see it. It's like automatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you stop doing certain things. Like, babe, pick up milk. She accustomed to you saying, okay, pick up milk and come home and see the milk there. But pick up milk, no milk in there. But that's not like him. Babe, are you okay? See, you see what happened there? She was not accustomed to that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I had a hard day or whatever. Or no, shoot, I forgot. She's not accustomed to you forgetting. So automatically just be like, oh my gosh, what happened? Blah, blah, blah. Care. Like you've got to stop. So next time you buy milk, or babe, you buy milk, are you good? You're tired, you want me to get it. That conversation is gonna go like that. But if she doesn't do that, don't buy it again. Just leave it. And be like,
Mhm.
shoot, I forgot. No, don't do it. Because she's accustomed, she's still in the routine. You've
Mm.
got to break routine. Understand?
Okay.
It is manipulative, but understand human nature, get comfortable really quickly. We have to break that. It's like being in the wild. The lion is there and he's all in his family, and all of a sudden shit comes down. And more a big alpha coming, he's like, shit, I haven't fought in years. What do I do?
Mhm.
So you have to keep it fresh. It is
Mhm.
crazy that we have to do stuff like this, but men, you have to keep it fresh. So if you're accustomed to getting up on Sunday morning and cleaning, she don't notice it, she not appreciate it. Babe, I going out with the boys, but you cleaning today? Nope, I'm going out with the boys. She then have to figure out her shit. Okay? Because
Right.
believe it or not, the
Mhm.
female do it too. She does it. But honestly, what do you think of this advice? Do you think I'm trying to tell people that you need to be manipulative again, or what? What do you think about that?
I do hear a little bit of manipulation there.
Manipulation, right? I know.
I do. I do. To me, it's a thing of then I go ask, but like, why must I manipulate you into
I
behaving how I want you to
know.
behave? Why can't you just um appreciate and be grateful for the things that I am doing? I understand that, like, okay, cool. You're used to this.
Yeah.
But if you practice gratitude every
Yes.
day, then why are you not how can you not be grateful for the things I'm doing? So
Yeah.
I've got
You're
a thing
faking
of what
that
I
shit.
do for myself is I practice gratitude
Yeah.
every morning and every night before I go to bed and before I go to and before when
Mm-hmm.
the moment I wake up. And that's how I start my day. That's how I end my day.
Mm-hmm.
And I say five things that I'm grateful for every morning, and then at the night I recite some things that I was grateful for what happened in that day. So the five things in the
Mm-hmm.
morning or whatever I feel like. I wake up, I'm like, today I may be grateful for waking up. I may be grateful for breathing, the house over my head, food, water, family, the holiday that's coming up, car, whatever it may be, TV, whatever it may be, whatever I'm grateful for in my life, I say I'm grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to bed and the same thing as then recite what I'm grateful for in that actual day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're doing that every morning as a woman or as a
Yeah.
man, anybody, period, every night on a Sunday, when your man or woman has done that thing for you
You're
that
gonna
you're in a routine
notice.
of, you've told yourself you're grateful for it. So the next
Yes.
morning, you're gonna wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
Why am I grateful for that?" So then you're gonna then
Yes.
show your woman how you're grateful for that, or why you're grateful for it, or you're gonna recite that to her. So then I've got another thing that I do when it recites. I tell somebody, at least one person a day, something I'm grateful for them, or so something
Mm-hmm.
they do, or something their behavior. So whatever it may be, I'm grateful for a conversation with them, or I'm grateful for them doing something for me,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm grateful for whatever it may be about them having me having access to them in my life or whatever. So then you're doing that. If you've got a woman and you are then reminding her why you're grateful to her,
Yeah, she's gonna
doesn't
keep doing it.
she knows why you're grateful
Yeah.
and how you're grateful. She's gonna feel
Yeah.
appreciated.
Yeah.
She's gonna go above and beyond now.
Yeah. It's facts.
But then you're saying that she'll get comfortable.
No, but here's the thing.
Mhm.
In advice like that, right? For people like you and I, we got that. We
Okay,
forever grateful,
okay, cool.
right? No. This is not a general thing. This is why I say we have the woman speaking and then we have the
Right.
girl. That advice was for people who
The
want to be in a
girl.
relationship but really and truly don't really understand. So
Mhm.
we go
Okay.
here, right? But when you're speaking from a higher frequency relationship, the moment you tell a woman, you would never tell your woman that she's nagging if you're in a higher frequency relationship. You would
Mhm.
notice that she wants attention and you would actually, or she would say, hey, we haven't spent, they would talk because in a higher
Mhm.
frequency relationship, you're meditating together, you're grateful together, you're good together, you see things need to be done because it's a unit. You're working to
Yes.
progress. So there is
Yeah.
not that much work. But for people below here who don't even know the value of themselves, who doesn't even know the value of me,
Right.
but look for value in themselves, that tactics works for them. That's why
Works
I
for
was
them.
like, earlier before I went into that there, because I'm like, I don't want to give advice like that, but I know that what we're speaking about and what you just said, people gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Mm-hmm.
live it. They don't feel something
No,
like
no, no.
that.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you broke it down like that though, because now that you broke it
Yeah.
down like that, yeah. So then for the woman, well then that's great advice for the man. That's great advice. Right.
No,
Yeah, that's
no,
exactly what you need to do.
legit.
Unfortunately, and that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but
It
it's a
is.
situation. If you don't remind them, I think every once in a while does need a reminder of what that person is doing for you, because sometimes, like you
Yeah.
said, you do become accustomed to it.
Comfort.
Like,
Yeah.
things like cooking. Like my mum used to cook all the time. And I got so used to my mom cooking that I expected certain meals on certain days.
See?
And then when my mom didn't do it, what's
He's like,
going
what
on?
happened?
He's like,
See?
hold on,
What she
hold
see?
on, like, what is going on? I'm like, I'm busy. I'm like, do you want me to cook then? You see what I'm saying? So yes,
Right.
yes, yes, yes.
It does work.
So then I don't think it's a matter of, I don't think it's manipulation then at that point. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a reminder.
Yeah.
That's a reminder of what I do to you and what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do think everybody in every
Has
relationship
a.
does need a reminder in what you
Mm-hmm.
do. I think it's absence makes the heart grow fonder,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
is absence of what you are bringing to the table. So
Yes.
whether that be if you're considerate or you are thoughtful or you are kind, and those you have certain kind acts that you do on a regular
Yeah.
basis, you have being absent of that or doing that, having that absent of from the relationship
Yeah.
is going to make that person be fonder of that.
Yeah.
They're gonna come over. You see what I'm saying? So I don't
Yeah.
think that's more about. I don't think that's manipulation now that you break it down like that.
Yeah.
I think it is just a reminder. Like, look,
This
this
is
is
what
what I
is
bring.
up.
You better
Yeah.
remember.
This is my
Like,
value type of thing.
like this is what I bring, and check that, because if you don't, there is other people who will,
Yes.
and that,
There we
do you see what
go.
I'm saying? Which is
Yeah.
ties in exactly what you're saying. There's other
Mm-hmm.
people that will, which is, and I can go grab one of those people if you don't,
Yeah.
stay up to scratch.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
I know what I see. I see what I bring to the table. Just because you don't, that's not my
Doesn't
problem.
mean.
You need to
Yeah.
get, that's a you problem. That's what
Yeah.
you need to do within yourself. You need to see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing and what I'm bringing. So
Yeah.
every once in a while, I'll remind you. And if you don't see that reminder,
Then
I'm
you
gonna
shift.
start pulling away. You're gonna start
Yeah.
losing me.
Yeah. Because what
That's,
you do in that moment is lose yourself by continuing doing more for this person and that
right.
person not saying that, right? And for me, if you have a relationship where somebody is consistently doing something for you, this is why I said earlier, as a woman, if you have a man and he's consistently doing something for you, you feel like that's not enough, check yourself. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
is it I'm so selfish when he's doing this thing? I know he's tired. I know that he's doing this much, and I see how it's taking a toll on him, and I'm yet here being hella ungrateful and happy. Like, what is wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why is it I feel, and for me, I have a solution for that, but you should ask yourself, why is it that I feel like it is not enough? It is because the enough that you want is not from the person doing something from you, it is from you doing something for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you fill the tank of your ungratefulness, of your selfishness. You have to fill that. You have to realize that you want these things from yourself. The fact that
Mm-hmm.
he's climbing mountains for you and you're like at the top, like, yo, we need to go higher, and he's going higher, and you're like, yeah, no, this is not higher. It is not him. It is purely you. And the moment
Yes.
that you find yourself is when the balance comes into play, and is when you come
Right.
into our spectrum of the world of relationship, where you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I appreciate you, I love you, and I want us to go here. But when you haven't found yourself, you cannot understand the relationship that him and I are speaking about, where we
Mm-hmm.
know what we want, where we know our value, where we don't have to manipulate anything, where we can definitely see you being routine for 5 years and still grateful, and you bring us ice cream every day, and I am grateful for every single day,
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't have to, but he does. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I mean here? So
Mm-hmm.
that is where that spectrum becomes over that fence, when you find yourself. But when you haven't
Yes.
found yourself and he's consistently trying to give you things, you is who haven't moved. He has kept moving, but you're still here. Move.
Wow.
That's what I've been trying to
Wow.
say.
Oh wow. So, wow.
Right.
No,
So that's why I
but
asked you if it was manipulative, because I was like, am I getting the point across? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
it's borderline. It's borderline. I think it can become manipulative if it is
Yes.
done on a prolonged thing. So you do that on purpose, knowing that they're
Yes.
going to have this reaction. Now you're
Right.
manipulating the person.
Yes.
But to remind the person of what you bring to the table, that's a completely different thing. So I think
I'm glad
like
that
it
we
depends
broke
on
it
how
down.
the person uses that advice.
Yes.
To manipulate the person, or they can use it to help remind, like you said, they can use it to
Yes.
help the relationship and move forward in a
Enforced
relationship.
gratitude.
You know, so it just depends on, I guess, the perception of the person and how they take it
True.
and how they then
True.
use it in their relationship. You know, but you spoke about upon something right at the beginning of what you were saying there, which was
Yes.
losing yourself in a relationship. And
Yes.
I want to speak about just it's triggered something in my mind about
Got it.
the detrimental effect it has on women losing themselves in a male.
Mm.
What I see a lot of is women, or good women, smart women, intelligent women, finding a male of which is very ego driven
Mm-hmm.
and lose themselves in him, and then
Mm-hmm.
think they're the issue,
Yeah.
and they're pouring themselves into him, and he's just taking it all and then going
Wow.
with it, and that's dangerous.
It is.
It's dangerous for the woman because you feel unvalued, underloved, not enough. You then become find insecurities within yourself. You have a male which is speaking wrongly about you, speaking
Mm-hmm.
downly towards you, isn't showing you the love and affection that you deserve and need. You have a male of which is treating you in ways of which he knows he shouldn't treat you, but because he
Mm-hmm.
knows that you're going to allow him to treat you like
He's
you're
gonna
going to allow him
continue.
to treat you like that, he'll continue treating you like that.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of women, especially young women, they
Mm.
find a male which they see is like their
Hey you. Yes you. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for coming to my page. So I would like for you to subscribe, and I also want you to watch the last video, and I hope that you enjoy everything on my channel. Thank you.